Welcome to the Feminine Voice of God, a podcast celebrating women's spiritual connections to God, Source, and Spirit, including the mystical and the psychedelic. Join us as we explore women's transformative experiences of divine revelation and spiritual empowerment.
Good morning.
Good morning. So here I am with Edith Santiago. Edith is actually one of my friends that I met in the LifeWorks journey. And, what's so funny is when we were in that journey, you and I were just having a conversation and just talking. And somebody told us, you guys should make a podcast. Do you remember that?
Yes. I think we were in advance.
It was advanced.
And
it advances this
and it
weekend
was
again.
hailing.
And it hailed.
Yeah.
In the middle of
The sun.
the sun was out. We were having lunch. And these big ass hails just started falling down. It's just and we were talking about a bunch of spiritual stuff then too.
Mm-hmm. Again, the owls.
Yeah, and the owls. Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna get into all of this. We're gonna tell you guys about the
Oh
owls.
my God, yes.
This is Edith's episode where we're gonna discuss all the spiritual stuff with Edith. And because she said to us, you guys should do a podcast, that thing had already been popping in my mind. And I talked about in episode 1 where I was getting this message that you need to start a podcast and it needs to be around women's spiritual experiences. And then she said that, and see, it's coming back to me. That was my slap in the face.
Yeah.
Like your slap in the face with the owl, that was mine.
Oh, man.
So I was like, we have to do it. So you're my first guest.
Yes.
I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you.
Yay, yes.
I'm excited. Very excited.
So my first question to you would be, at what point in your life do you feel like started your spiritual experience? What was it that happened that created that for you?
Okay. Wow. I would say I was in a very toxic relationship. Again, I'm very stubborn. I always want to see the good intention in people. I always want to it's keep trying. It's not trying to give up. But I was already checked out.
Yeah.
I was checked out. I wasn't really there. I had gained so much weight. I was in this relationship where I didn't know what to do. I have my kids. I have both of my parents. I grew up with both of my parents, obviously not in a good, best home, loving, caring. I was fighting and disagreeing and, So I was trying to keep that for my kids as well. But then I was like, you know what? I can't. I got to go. I love myself. I have to leave this person because this person is not giving me the light, helping me grow, help me develop. It's just sinking me in and just keeping me trapped. So I left to Mexico. I left and I was just like, okay, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I don't know what I want. I don't know what I gotta do, but I have to leave. At that time, I had just switched on my job and I'm getting incoming calls because I was in the insurance. I'm still in the insurance industry. But I was working for a company, and then I got a call. And then the call was private, and I picked it up. It was maybe 6:30. It was about time to leave too.
And this one you were in Mexico?
No, so I went to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I came back. I started working this new job, with this new company, and I was, getting calls, incoming calls.
Got
it. We have to take incoming calls, do customer service as well.
Insurance,
for the insurance
business. Got it.
So I picked up the call and then I'm helping the customer. I'm like, hey, good afternoon. This is Edith. How can I help? And then he was like, oh, I just received a call, whatever. I was helping him out. And while I was helping him out, he's like, hey, I know you don't know who I am, but my guides are telling me to tell you this.
Gosh.
And I'm like, okay, I'm listening. And then he's like, I know that you're in a hard situation. You just had a miscarriage. You just had a miscarriage, and the miscarriage that you had was a boy. And I was just like, what? I was like, you're kidding me.
Oh,
And then he
man.
was just like, the man that you're with is not going to change. He's not going to change. You just got to go. And I'm just like breathing, listening to this guy, and I'm just like looking everywhere. I'm like, are you watching me? Are you hearing me?
How do you know about his
Because
life?
how the hell do you know I was in Mexico and I just had a miscarriage?
Yeah.
How? And you're telling me it was a boy? Like, the reason why I had a second baby is because I was aiming for a boy,
Yeah.
but I have 2 girls.
Yes. Yeah.
And then it is what it is, and I love him. But I wanted that boy. So him telling me like, you just had a miscarriage, you had a boy, and this man is not gonna change.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, where are you getting this information? Where are you listening? Like,
Yeah. How do you know?
how do you know? Yes. And then he was just like, it's just my guides, like, want me to tell you, like,
Oh, my gosh.
and I'm just there like, oh my God, I'm going crazy
Mm-hmm.
because I'm in the middle of this mixed feelings. Should I run away? Should I
Yeah.
stay? Should I try to work something out? Should I get marriage therapy?
Mhm.
What do I do?
I mean, but
So-
he's telling you he's not going to change.
He's not going to change. Yeah. So I'm going crazy. I freaking lock my door. I start crying like a baby. I go out to the back and I'm just like, oh my God, like, what the hell is going on? Like,
Mm-hmm.
where is this coming from? It's just crazy. Like, so many things going on. And then, I feel like that week I just made the big decision where I was like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I gotta leave. And I was going crazy. I was trying to get this recording. My manager wasn't there. She had just left to maternity leave. And I wasn't able to get the recording because I was tripping out the whole
Mhm.
time. I'm like, oh my God, who is this man?
The recording of you and
of the conversation. Yeah, because remember, I'm working.
Yes. Yeah.
And then he called in, so all of our calls are being recorded.
Oh.
All the incoming calls, all the outgoing calls are recorded.
So did you ever get the recording?
I wasn't able to get the recording.
No? Oh,
No,
of course
because-
not. But
yeah.
of course the universe made it happen that way. Of course you can't get the recording.
Yes,
know?
because the manager wasn't there, and then we were waiting for a new manager to step into play. And then at the time, I was just going through so much. So I was just like, man, what's going on? And then just things start falling into place. I end up quitting that job and getting another job. I end up being alone in myself. Like, just so many stuff happened that I was just not there and just scared. But
Yeah. I just want to pause really quick because
Yes.
what you just shared about that happening while you're working, this guy calling and he's calling for insurance.
yeah, he's
And-
calling about his payment being due.
Yeah.
That's what he's calling for.
And then you receive this message.
Yes.
And that's how God, source, spirit intervenes in our life.
Yes.
When,
We least
yeah,
expected. Oh my
when you
God.
least expected that. And just how random. This guy's calling to make a payment and it's like my guides and the accuracy of what he told you.
Yes. That's what blew me out of my mind. Because I was there just taking a call. I was like, yes, how can I help you? Private calls. Like, nobody's going to pick up a private call because they know it's just customer service. And a lot of people don't like doing customer service in those fields because it's, people are there for sales.
Yeah.
So I took it and I was just there, like, I was just shocked because it's like, how do you know I'm dealing with this man?
Yeah.
I just had a miscarriage.
That too. That piece.
And then that's what triggered me because it's like, bro, I have not told anyone.
You hadn't told anyone?
I haven't told anyone.
Oh,
I didn't even
my
know
God.
because I didn't know what I was going to do. I was like, okay, I already had a miscarriage. I can't do nothing about it. It's like, it happened. I was pregnant.
Yeah.
I seen it come out. It's just like, it was just a self moment.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, it is what it is. Like, I gotta go. I gotta keep moving. I can't hold back. Stuff happens because it happens. Like, I have no control. That's one thing I have always done. Like, okay, I have no control. It happened how it happened. Let's move on. Like, what is it that I can do? What is my results?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's when I feel like, okay, I'm in the right path. Like spirits are, they've been
They're guiding you.
they've been trying to like pick on me to, make me more aware, but I haven't really like, paid attention. But now I am. Like
Yeah,
I've been paying
I
attention.
mean, I feel like that was a moment for you where
It's
you were
just,
like maybe not paying attention.
yeah,
And spirit came to like literally
like
like
shook me
shake
up.
you and
Like
smack you
we're
and say,
here,
hey,
we're here, we're
like
watching.
I need you to listen. Yeah.
Yes,
And they're with you
yeah,
and guiding you all the time, which is incredible.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It has been a really really nice road.
Yeah. Well, and can I just say, like, the grief that comes with having a miscarriage, like that, and the son that you would have had, like that's heavy. So I want to acknowledge that piece because I understand
Yeah,
where you're coming from, and that's difficult.
it was at that time. And then I called my friend and I was just like, dude, this just happened to me, and I'm like freaking bawling out. And then she's like, don't worry, like I'll go see you later on. I'm like, no, do not come see me because I don't want nobody. I'm very secretive. I don't like
Yeah.
being exposed. I don't like people knowing, or I don't like that petty, like, oh my God, like what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, don't worry, like I don't like that. So I was like, no, like, do not come see me in my house. They're like, yeah, but listen to you. Like, listen how you're crying. You say you're fucking balled up in the fucking back of your room, like back of your office. Like, because I went and I was like clearly like this, like, oh my God, I'm crying, I'm hugging myself, and I'm just like, dude, like, what the fuck? Like, this guy just tapped in on the freaking video cameras. What is he doing?
Somehow
He's
watching me.
watching me. Because I literally asked him that question. I'm like, are you watching me? Are you listening to my conversations? Like,
Yeah.
who are you?
But there's no way he would have known.
No,
He said nobody knew.
There was no way. There was
but
no way he would have known. There was no way that I was talking about it. Like, there was no way. So I was just like, bro, like, that was just like a shift to me. Like, what the hell?
Wow.
It's real.
Yeah.
It was so real that I'm just like, damn.
So that was the moment for you.
That was the moment for me.
And how long ago was that for you?
Oh man, that was, I would say, over 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, it was over 2 years. That was around last year, like 2 years ago, around June.
Mm-hmm.
So I always say June has always been like the shift for me, because June is usually the month that something ends, a new start.
Yeah.
Something ends, a new start. Like the past 2 years that something always happens on June. Crazy.
That's incredible. That story is so powerful, Edith. Like that, having that kind of experience where somebody's sharing something so personal and deep and accurate with you, that's something that a lot of people don't ever have. Like they don't ever have an experience like that. So for that to happen for you, I mean, my intuition tells me that you have a bigger spiritual purpose that the universe is trying to guide you to. Mm-hmm. Like for it to come into your life in that way through somebody that's calling to make a payment on their insurance, and they're like tapping him on the shoulder. They're like, by the way, while you're making your payment, give her this message. That is absolutely just divine intervention. It's incredible. So I love that for you.
I know. I love that for myself. And then just stuff like started lining up. I ran into you.
Yeah,
I ran into
LifeWorks.
I ran into other people that are genuine.
Yes, yeah. So let's talk about the owl, because I know we started talking about the owl experience.
Yes.
So was the owl experience for you the very first one that you told me about? Right? Was that one after?
Yeah,
this happened. The phone call at the
that was the owl incident was last year. It was right before. I feel like it was around the time where I ran into LifeWorks as well.
Mm-hmm.
I was coming out of this reggae club. It was in the city too.
Yeah,
we're coming out, and then I'm just like, we're coming out. I'm with a friend. I'm coming out, And I heard the owl. And I'm looking for it because I don't know. I started looking for it, and I'm like, where is it? Where is it? I'm looking, and I made eye contact with the owl,
Ooh.
dude. And when I made eye contact with the owl stopped. And then as I'm looking, and then I'm like, dude, we're in the middle of the park, in Echo Park, because we had just coming out of the reggae club.
Yes.
So, and I'm like, dude, do you hear that? We're walking, and he's like, my friend is like, don't listen to that. These people do that so they can trap you into their like dimension and their what. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Hold on. These people, like
yeah,
the owl?
like the reggae people. Like, I don't know, like the reggae people. Because he thought it had something to do with the reggae.
Oh,
with
like
the
they're
reggae.
trying to trap you in the dance and like get you to come back to the club?
I don't know what he was thinking, but he was like, they're trying to trap you. They're trying to like finesse you with the
owl sound?
With the owl. Yeah. I don't know why he said that.
Whoa. Men are on a different spiritual path. We'll have to have a different conversation about that. But
yes.
Okay, so you make contact with this owl.
Yes. So this is the craziest thing. So I'm talking to him. I'm like, why is there an owl here? I'm like, do you listen? Are you hearing this? He's like, yeah. He's like, don't listen to it. It's nothing. He's like, people do this. Whatever. I'm like, bro, you tripping. Then there's this man coming, crazy looking. Gray hair, dry, crazy hair, curly.
I mean,
with the beard.
It's Los Angeles. Was he homeless?
No, he wasn't homeless, but he looked homeless.
Okay.
He looked homeless, but he is not homeless, dressed in black. And he's like, an owl means it's a new beginning or a new end.
Ooh.
I instantly was like, it's a new beginning. It's a new beginning. It's something new.
Yeah.
Something new is coming for me. And then he's just walking away, but talking to me. He's like, no, listen to it. He's like, it's a new beginning, but randomly. Because I'm like shouting to my friend in the middle of the park. I'm like, bro, do you listen to this? Are you hearing this? Like, what does this mean? I'm like, what does this mean? Tell me what this means. And then that's when that man approached. He's like, it means it's a new beginning or a new end. Like, or death.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. So that stick with me. And now I'm just like, okay, this is a new beginning. This is a new Edith.
Yes.
This is a new Edith. This is new. This is going to be something new. So I just kept it positive. And then just stuff started lining up, like LifeWorks, and then again, LifeWorks, and then people, and then
meeting people. And your life being changed.
People.
Yeah.
Just allowing the change. And then now the second time
with the owl. Your messenger is the owl. Like, that's yours. Your spirit guide and messenger is the owl. Definitely. I think this is the second time the owls appeared for you. And you're like hanging out in the city in Los Angeles. And the owl pops up.
And the owl pops up again. And this one is just to tell me this is the end.
This is the end. It is an end.
It is an end.
Okay, so like give us like a little bit of just like what you feel comfortable sharing, but like backstory of this owl popping up for you in this moment.
In this moment, okay, I'm in not a toxic relationship. Well, yeah. No, it's not. I wouldn't say it's a toxic relationship, but just the man that I was talking to at the time, it was, younger man. He's not where he wants to be, maybe. He's not fully like comprehended what he wants to do. So
maturity's maybe
lacking. Yeah,
doesn't have some goals and like values for himself.
For himself, he has goals and values, but just maybe not fully developed or fully there.
Well, maybe that are not in alignment with yours.
With mine's, correct. So we're chit-chatting again. This is by the same area now this is Elysian Park. Elysian Park is like a couple of blocks away from Echo Park. So we're still around the same area. We're there hanging out, just having a good time. And then randomly an owl pops up again. But this time I've been talking to myself, contemplating, saying, you know what, this is not the best choice for me. I have kids, it's not the best, maturity, this is not the best guidance, morals person I can be like, hey guys, this is my partner. Like, good role model, maybe not.
So you've been having this conversation with yourself already.
Yes. Like, you need to like let go. You need to move on. We've been texting on and off. This time was already like 2 days. I didn't see him. This third day, I was like, I shouldn't see him, but I'm still being stubborn, and I'm gonna do it. Like, hey, what's going on? Let's hang out. Late at night again, and we're hanging out. As we're hanging out, we listen to music. I hear an owl again popping out, and then I'm just like, what is that? I lower down the music. I'm like, what is that? What is that? And then I'm like, it's an owl. And I instantly was like, it's a confirmation that it's time to let go.
Yeah.
It's a confirmation. Girl, you are being stubborn. Yeah. Let it go. It's not good. It's not the right thing.
Yeah.
It's a new ending.
And a new beginning.
And a new beginning. Yes. Yeah. So that's where it left off. We disagree on something, and he got upset, and he was just like, okay, I gotta go. And then, all right, well, I gotta go too.
Yeah, and the owl kind of maybe initiated that.
Yeah.
Like, for the separation to happen.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the owl's like following you at this point, Edith. Imagine if it was the same owl, how crazy that would be.
That's what I was trying to see, because I made eye contact with the previous owl.
Yes.
We made eye contact, and he made sure I looked at him.
And then he was silent?
And then he was silent.
That's so bad.
And then he flew out. He flew off. So he made sure I looked at him, and I made eye contact with him. With this nice brown owl. Very beautiful. He made sure I looked at him, but this time, I was still trying to ignore him or ignore it because I was looking for it. I was like, where is it? Where is it? And I couldn't find it. I was able to hear it. But I didn't get off and, go
get
see.
Out the car and go look.
Go look.
Yeah.
I was still being unobedient. I wasn't being obedient at all, and just trying to hang out with this guy. And yeah, something triggered him, and he was just, all right, whatever, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, you know what? I wasn't even supposed to be here. But I'm still being stubborn.
Yeah.
And trying to be here.
You're like, I was, like you said, my confirmation.
My confirmation. Yeah, that was my confirmation.
And I've also heard that owls are associated with truth. So they're truth speakers or deep truth. So I think that combination with maybe what you already were having as far as a conversation with yourself. And then to be there, this is now your second encounter with those beautiful beings. And it's there telling you again.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is crazy.
It is.
No, yes. An owl. You think an owl is my spirit guide?
Yeah, I think so. I think the owl is your spirit guide. It seems to show up every time for you. Yeah. I mean, I have an owl here. He just lives in this area though.
Yeah.
But it's here like every day, almost every night. It's out there hooting. However, you're like
in the city.
You're like in Los Angeles, like Echo Park, and this owl is popping up. These owls are popping up for you. That's not to say that owls, I mean, I'm sure they're there, but for it to be something that you have attention and awareness of is what is the powerful part, because that means that it's something for you. There's something there for you that the owl is coming to teach and show you, I think intuitively what that was.
Yeah, it's just letting me know the truth. Like, bro, you already said it. You're already thinking. You already feel it.
Yeah.
Why are you still here?
Yeah. When are you going to listen?
When are you?
That's the freaking one. That's like, when are you going to listen?
I know. I'm very stubborn and a lot of stuff.
That one, I think too. It's like letting go of things, like, and a willingness to surrender, which I think for us as women is a big thing. And I think we live in a world that teaches us to be very strong and not let our guard down and hold our shield up and make sure that we get what we want the way that we want it.
Mhm.
And I don't know if that's where your stubbornness comes from, but part of mine comes from me wanting things the way that I want them. And that comes back to like what we were just saying about control,
Yeah.
right? And the feminine gets that through flow,
Mhm.
through attraction, through that magnetic energy. It's like when we are attracted to somebody, you see a man you're attracted to, he's attracted to you, it's magnetic.
It's magnetic.
Like they're just like, you can look at them from across the room and they will come to you. Like that's the power.
Yeah.
So for us to hold on to things and want them a certain way and like try to control that, that's just, it's not our energy all the time.
Yeah.
It is sometimes,
Yeah.
yes. However, that's not our energy all the time.
Mhm.
I feel like that's the masculine piece of us, which we all have. But that's that masculine energy of us trying to control and like go out and have things the way that we want it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
So with all these experiences that you have, like, what would you say is your biggest lesson that you've gained since that phone call that you had with that gentleman, gave you information from the guides? From that day to now, what is the biggest lessons that you've learned in a spiritual space or about God or about source or your connection to God?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm still learning,
Mhm.
still trying to tune in with God, still doing, learning. I feel like my God has always been looking for me
Mhm.
in so many ways that my mom just mentioned it not so long ago. That we were going up the hill on again. But this one was by Alisu, where is it? Griffin Park.
Mhm.
We're going on Griffin Park and there's like this walls on Griffin Park. And I seen Jesus' face. I was like 12 years old.
Mhm.
I completely forgot, but she just reminded me not so long ago.
Mm.
Because I shouted, I was in the front with my dad and I was like, oh my God, look, there's God's face. And I was the only one that was able to see it because when they seen it, they're like, what are you talking about?
Like you guys had passed it already.
Yeah, he's like, there's only like tire marks
Yes.
because it's a curve. And I'm like, no, literally God was there with his ring, his face. Like I was able to see him clearly.
Mm.
My mom was like, you're tripping. I don't see nothing.
No. Come on, Mom.
Yeah, like there was my mom, my parents, everybody was there, and they're like, my mom, I have a brother. His name is Jesus. He's like, he didn't come. I'm like, no, like he's there on there, like on the wall, and then everybody was looking at like we don't see nothing. So I didn't really say much, and she didn't really say much, but she just reminded me not so long ago, like, hey, do you remember when you saw
God's
God,
face, yeah.
God's face, his gestures, his features. And I was just like, oh, shoot, that's right.
So do you remember, was it like painted on the wall? Was it?
It was just tire marks. So it's like a curve. It's like a little curve. So, sometimes cars get a little too close and they hit the curve.
Yeah.
Like with the tire marks. So
Yeah.
there's like tire marks all over the curve.
And it was
But
in the shape of Jesus.
in my vision, I seen the shape of Jesus.
Wow.
But all they saw was just scrape and scratches.
Yes.
That's all they saw. And I was 12 at that time.
Oh my gosh.
And I didn't know much of God. I grew up in a Catholic home, but my parents are not like, very like religious. Like every day, every Sunday, we gotta learn, study, pray, and do, our holy stuff. And then it was just like, yeah, I know about God, just only at a certain level. Like we only go to church in like special days, like, New Year's,
Easter,
Christmas,
stuff like
Easter,
that. Yes.
birthday, stuff like that. But we don't go to church often. But then that was my first encounter, I guess, with God. But again, I don't listen. I'm not like really in tune.
I mean, You are in tune.
Well, I am in tune, but I'm not listening.
But you don't listen.
I don't
Yes,
listen.
yes.
I don't listen.
Because I mean, literally, the signs are everywhere.
Yeah.
They pop up all the time. It's just, are we seeing them?
Yeah.
Are we hearing them?
Yes. Are we listening? So it didn't. With God, my spirit didn't start until I was 18.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I started doing like Jehovah Witness study. So
Mm-hmm.
where I was working,
Mm-hmm.
there was Jehovah Witnesses there, and they kind of like got me into like studying with them and learning, and that was nice. It was a nice spirit. Gave me conscious.
Yeah.
Gave me a lot of conscious, like, don't do this, don't do that, because everything comes back.
Mm.
So that gave me a lot of conscious, a lot of awareness.
Mm-hmm.
So I started moving completely different.
Because of that, those teachings.
Because of those teachings.
And then what happened with that? Because you're not Jehovah's Witness now.
No, I'm not Jehovah's Witness. I kind of like stopped studying with them.
Mm-hmm.
Started doing my own thing, and again, there was, then the science came, the universe, and I'm always tuned in, but not listening. So
yeah, and it seems like the universe is really trying to give you messages.
Yeah.
Frequently. I mean, they're popping up for you all over the place.
Yes. Yes. And then so far my lessons has been just, I would say, listen to myself.
Wow.
Listen to myself, love myself.
Mm-hmm.
And listen. I feel like listening has been a big part. And just letting go. Not trying to stay in the same stagnant, I don't know, like routine,
place, energy,
place.
yes.
Yeah, like let go. Like, it's not working for you, let it go. It's not serving you, let it go.
Yeah.
But
I agree. Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
Those are beautiful lessons.
No, yes.
Yeah. And I think that's something that a lot of people struggle to connect with, right? To listen to themselves.
Yeah.
The intuitive piece that lives within all of us. And it's that whisper and it's that conversation that you were having before you went the second time.
Yeah.
Right? And you met the owl again and the owl's there. Like, you already were having that call within, and you chose to ignore it and go,
still do my own thing.
Do it anyway. Which then led to, now the universe is saying, well, I'm going to send you a message that you're going to hear because you're not listening to yourself.
Yeah.
So let me send you something that you will listen to, which was the owl. And that's so funny because you had already had an owl messenger before. It's probably like the universe, this is what I'm thinking the universe is thinking. It's like, okay, she didn't listen that one time, so we sent that owl, remember? And it's like, yeah, we sent that owl, okay. She's not listening again. She's doing it all over again. She's not listening to herself. And they were like, well, send her an owl. Yeah, let's send her an owl. She'll listen to the owl. So then they send you the owl again. So I'm interested to see in your life moving forward how many times the owl pops up for you.
Ooh.
And I would challenge you.
I need to keep track.
I would challenge you that when it does, like, really tap into yourself, because there's probably something that you already know, but that you haven't been listening to.
Mm-hmm.
So now the universe is intervening and saying, we're going to send her this owl. So she will listen. So she will hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta listen to yourself. That's such a beautiful message.
I know. It's scary.
It's scary. Why? Why is it scary?
Because I don't listen to myself. Like.
Okay, so let's get deeper into that. You don't listen to yourself. Why though? Why don't you trust? Like, what comes up for you when you think about, like, let's take this latest example, right? Of you with this gentleman, you guys having this relationship. When those callings come up for you about that, what is the other conversation that pops up for you that keeps you from just trusting that intuition? Because usually, at least for me, like my intuition will pop up and it'll tell me something, right? That's like the little angel on my shoulder. But then the little devil on my shoulder comes over and it's like, nah, but you know what? You're really good right here where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's working fine. If you change, you're going to have to get this. You're going to have to maybe look for a new job. You're going to have to deal with new people, like all the excuses and things it comes up with.
Yeah.
Right. And here we have the sirens. I don't know if our mic's picking it up, but like it's the warnings. Right. And then we have those warnings and then the other little devil comes up and it's like, this is why you shouldn't listen to them, as we have this literally like sirens going by. So what is your conversation? Like what comes up for you that keeps you from listening to that intuitive source that lives within you?
I want to say just being in my comfort zone. Just not getting out of my comfort zone, not taking the risks, not allowing me to get a risk and fail and do it differently, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's like why I try to stay there or try to like, yeah, I would say just trying to stay there, not trying to get out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. I agree.
No,
I
just
think that's
not trying
mine
to
as
break
well.
my comfort zone, trying to stay in my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And trying to make it, I'm trying to make it better when it's not better.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's getting worse and I'm seeing it, I feel it,
Yeah.
but I'm like still trying to have that little hope, like, yes, I could change it, or
Yes,
I I don't know.
That comes back. That's like the comfort and the control
In the control,
that we were just talking about. So it's like us being comfortable, which I agree. I think mine is also comfortability.
Yeah.
Again, stepping outside of that comfort zone is scary.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're comfortable, you're also, we also have that control piece where we're like, oh, well, we can change this and we can do this and we can do that and make it better. Mm-hmm. And really, it's just us staying in our comfort zone, just trying to control it to where we can be more comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. But see, that's like us. I think that's just part of our human condition, is us wanting to be comfortable.
Wanting to be comfortable, yeah.
Because we were so used to living, and sometimes I think we still are, especially, I'm sure people in other places deal with this, but it's like what I was telling you about you living in LA, right? You've lived here your whole life.
Yeah.
And I lived in New Mexico. I was born here, but my family moved to New Mexico and I moved back here. And when I'm in traffic here, I'm thinking like, how do these people that live here deal with this? This is insane. Like, and you guys are like, all you Los Angelinos are like, oh, it's Los Angeles traffic. It's normal. I'm like, how do you accept this as normal? Yeah. Like sitting for hours in traffic, like doing this with people. We get comfortable with living in survival mode. And I think that's like what we, and on a very, like our problems are definitely not something compared to like somewhere else, but like sitting in traffic, it would be the least of somebody else's problems. But like literally we're in a space where we're comfortable with doing that. And that it's like
wasting an hour, 2 hours of our lives.
Yes.
Not being productive.
Exactly.
In traffic.
Yeah. And I mean, I hope people are listening to podcasts. I listen to podcasts. People, hopefully you could listen to this podcast while you're in traffic.
Yeah.
So you're gaining something while you're sitting in there for hours or whatever you're doing with your life. But for us to have that level of comfortability with something that, like, I feel like we shouldn't be comfortable with.
Yeah.
And that's just, like I said, like us being in traffic is like the least of the problems compared to the rest of the world, some of the places in the other spots of the world. But even in those places, people get comfortable and we get comfortable with things, us living in survival mode and us being in spaces where things are not our natural human way that we should be living. And it's crazy, honestly. It's so crazy.
No, it is. Well, I think it feels a lot like we get trapped in the society. You know, the everyday thing. It's just automatic.
Yeah, it is. It's the automatic.
It's the automatic that we're just there. We don't even care or feel for it. It's like, oh, damn, I have to do this.
Yes.
It's not like I get to
do this. Yeah.
I get to do this.
I get to drive to work today.
to drive to work
and I get to be in
It's
traffic.
like I have to do
I don't know. I don't know about the get to be in traffic though. Like that
But it's okay, but the traffic thing,
Mhm.
it's just like, okay, I think is like people drive an hour, 2 hours away
Mhm.
for a job. And it's just like, dude, you could probably get paid less and have more time for yourself and be
I've
local.
thought about that. Yeah.
You
I've thought
know?
about that.
Yeah, because you get to experience that too, right?
Yeah.
You
I
get
mean,
to-
I'm about an hour.
yeah.
When there's no traffic, it's like 25 minutes. I know.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So, however, the point you just made,
Yeah.
right, is would you be willing to accept less money, but maybe work more local,
Yeah.
be closer, right? And even right now, you saying that, like, there's a part of me that's like, you could do that.
Yeah.
Totally. Right. But then the other part of me, it's like, no, you can't. You have the amount of money that you make and you're comfortable with that. Every penny goes to something.
Yeah.
If you made less money, how are you going to make that happen? There's no way. You're going to be struggling. You don't want to struggle.
Yeah.
Those are the pieces that come up for us in all these instances in our life where that's the part we have to trust. That's the part we have to listen to. Right. So like bringing it back to what you were saying about listening to the self. I think that's a confusing piece too for people because it's like, what part of the self
do I listen to?
Yes. Right. Because and I sometimes have multiple voices that come up for different things. Depending on what it is, I have like all these different parts. Like the movie, what's that movie? Inside Out. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
Okay, you have to see it.
I heard it's really good. Yeah.
It's super cute. But the first one, I mean, I rewatched it the other day. However, I hadn't seen it in a long time, but it reminded me it's very much like that. So if people that haven't seen it, you should watch it. However, what it is it's this girl's mind. And in her mind, she has all the emotions. And all the emotions are like these little beings, like these little emotion things living in her brain. And they have this control panel. And like when she's feeling sad, like the sad one will come over and like put more sadness on it. The one that's angry will come over and like try to take control. The one that's like depressed will come over and try to do stuff. And then the happy one's trying to keep everybody in line. And it's like, no, we want to be happy all the time. I kind of compare my voices to that in the sense that I have all these different parts coming up, trying to take center stage. And part of my spiritual path and journey has led me to be a lot more mindful and aware of them. So when they pop up, I'm not identifying it with me and thinking, oh man, I have to listen to this every time that it says something.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it too, is learning all those different voices that come up and which one is the still, small, quiet one.
And
Right?
listen to that.
And that's the one, I think. Right? Like I've heard this analogy of kind of like the ocean.
Okay.
Right? Where you have all the waves, the storms come, all this stuff happens on the surface, and that's all those surface voices. But then at the bottom of the ocean, it's always quiet and still underneath. There's no waves. There's no anything happening. And that's the version that you tap into and listen to. So how do we connect with that? And how can we keep that connection where we can listen? Because it's something I struggle with too. Like there's times where I'm super tuned in and I listen and like everything's flowing. We had the wellness event. Did you go to the wellness event?
I didn't. I was in Mexico.
Okay, so the wellness event. So we had this wellness event. This was all birthed by LifeWorks. So LifeWorks encouraged us to do these goals, have this stuff happen that was going to help us raise money for this project that we were doing. And one of the things we did was a wellness event. And it was the first time that I have ever done an event and collaborated with other people for spirituality. And I've done it like one-on-one with people. I've done it in small groups with people. This was a large group of people. There was like 20, 25 women there and one man. So we did it. It was so cool. So we did it, and no joke, Edith, that day, and this is how I know I'm in alignment with something that Spirit is asking me. because like everything's flowing perfectly. I'm getting everything done on time. I'm getting ready. Everything's perfect. I got all my stuff put together. Everything's perfect. I go to check the time because I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to leave. It's literally 11:11. Actually, first time I checked it, it was 10:10. And I was like, okay, whatever, right? I was like, it's fine. And I'm getting ready to leave. It's 11:11. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, it's the second one. So then I'm driving and then I look at the time and it's 1:11. And I was like, oh my God.
You got to do it.
Yes, I have to do this because Spirit's like, this is what I want you to do. And that's why it's showing me all these signs. Then I get to the wellness event and I tell the other girls that are there doing it with us. And Claudia, she says, you know, it's so funny. She's like, I looked at the clock earlier today and I saw 2:22. And that was the one that I had missed. And she's like, but you did see it because we're one. We are one. And I saw it. So you saw it. She's on, you saw the other ones. Right. So then we do the wellness event. It was fantastic. It was so good. We had a great time. Everyone was like, this was an incredible event. We want to do this again. And then I'm driving home and I say to myself, I'm like, okay, if this is really it, because I do this, I question myself a lot. And I'll be like, no, it's coincidence. Like I'm trained to look at the time at those times. It's not really happening for me. So I asked myself, I said, hey, if this is really what you want me to be doing, then show me another sign that this is it. So I pull into my driveway and I kept having this feeling like, oh, you should check the time right now. You should check the time. And it was like nagging me. And I'm thinking like, no, I'm not going to check it right now because that's just me trying to, I think, confirm something when I wasn't totally feeling called. So then this little voice comes up and it's like, check it when you get home. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to let it be. And I'm like driving like an hour. So I get home, I pull into the driveway, I go to turn my car off and I look at the time and it's like 11:15 on my car. And I thought, oh, see? And there's that voice and it's like, see, you didn't get a sign. And then my other voice comes up and says, but the time in your car is fast. It's ahead. It's like, check your phone time. And I pick up my phone and I go to click it on and it's 11:11. And I was just, oh my gosh. I was like, okay, I hear you. Yes. I'm going to do it. I'm going to keep working on it. Yes. So those callings, that deep intuition, that still small voice that's calling us, that's speaking to you, that's speaking to me, that speaks to everybody, is the voice that's asking us to listen. So that message, I think, that you just shared is a message not only for you, but for everybody, for me, for all the people listening. Like, it's a message to listen to yourself because we all have that.
No, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
But now is like, what do we listen to? You know, it's like, I guess that's when we have to kind of like do the work. Yeah. You know, tune in, meditate, you know, keep learning. And I feel like keep talking about it too.
Yes.
Because
yes.
it's just going to line you up. Like,
yeah.
when you least suspected, you're more tuned in with your spirit guides than I am. So when I had events like that, you know, like the two little flames when we had the events as well. Remember? Because I was telling you my stomach was hurting. I was like,
oh my gosh, we have time for that story. Yeah. Okay. So let's share the story. This was an incredible thing that happened for you too.
That was the same day of the hailing and rain. And we were in this program where we doing like some work.
It's like self-development. Yes. And really, and I want to preface it by saying the work that we're doing that day was around our parents.
Yes.
And healing the wound with our parents.
Yes.
And before we went in to do the exercise, I think you were telling me something about having this uncomfortable feeling, like gas. You were like, I feel like I need to burp.
Yeah.
Right.
I felt like I needed to burp, throw up, everything, like use the restroom. it was just like very nervous. My body was just having chills, and I was having goosebumps everywhere. I kept burping. And then the time came where we have to step in to this room. And obviously, we our process is coming in, break the ice, whoever wants to speak, speaks, and then, we move on with our assignment. So as we're healing our parents' wounds, I feel like death has been a really scary part for me, where I put that shield, like no emotions, no feelings, like it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna be ready for it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not attached. That was my belief.
With your parents.
With my parents. So I wasn't very tuned in. I wasn't very respectful towards my parents, because I was trying to put that shield, like, they're going to be gone soon. I know it. I don't want to feel it.
Yes, yeah.
So I'm going to part away. So when that moment comes, it's like, okay, it happened. Whatever.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's like, no, you have your parents. People don't have their parents.
It's true.
I have my parents. They're there for me. So that's what I got from after that. So I have that feeling, that nasty feeling. We're doing our project, we're doing our assignment, or we're closing our eyes. And these two little flames just start appearing in my vision. Two little flames just roaming around. Where I'm just like, oh my God, why are these two little flames? And they started shaping like my dad.
Wow.
This two little flame just walking like my dad, looking like my dad. And another one comes up, walking and looking like my mom. And then I'm just like, what's going on? And I'm just crying because I'm like, wow. My vision is telling me my parents are always going to love me. No matter what I do, they're going to be there. They have been there for me. So why put up that wall?
Yes.
And then I kept trying to break it, because I kept opening my eyes. Because I was just like, no, like, why are my parents coming out right now? So I'm there breathing, doing exercise, opening my eyes because I'm still trying to fight it. And they're still coming out. I did that 3 times. The first time I came, then I opened my eyes. I was breathing. Same thing. They came out again. I opened my eyes for a second time. Trying to break it, trying to be like, okay, it's just something, like, it's me, like, triggering it now. But it was like, no, it's there. You're just not allowing yourself to see it. So I opened my eyes again, and I closed it. And they kept coming out. Those two little orange, yellow flames kept coming out. And I remember you told me to, like, yeah, because I had that stomach pain. I was like, dude, my stomach hurts really bad. Like, I need to use the restroom. And you were like, oh. You said it was
the sacral,
and
solar plexus chakra. So you had, like, all this feeling in your gut of needing to burp, right? Uncomfortable. And you have the orange and the yellow.
Yes.
And those are the 2 chakras that are there. And that was the colors that were popping up for you.
My parents were in those colors,
And a lot of that too is associated with our groundedness. It's associated with creativity. The solar plexus is also connected to the ego. So that part that is the not wanting to be very attached to something, right? Wanting to maintain this, like, very stoic, like, being and be like, doesn't bother me. And living through that kind of mask, essentially, of the ego. So the fact that those things popped up for you, and those were the colors that you were seeing, is just, it's so incredible. It's a whole other sign too. And you're not somebody that knew what the chakras were.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, not at all.
So you didn't even know what chakras were. And you're like, what is that?
Yeah.
And for those colors to pop up for you and you not know what they are. And then you also have the bodily sensations that are in that area, just shows how real and valid that actually is. And it's an ancient science that we have forgotten to utilize in our everyday life, and that our modern day medicine and science is trying to take and turn into the scientific explanation of stuff.
Yeah.
When really it comes back to even the message that you shared of listening to yourself. If you listen to yourself, your body's giving you messages. You're getting visions. You have these messages. And I know you say that I'm more tuned into my spirit guides than you. However, you are tuned in too. I would disagree. You are tuned in. It's just you listening and, like you said, like letting that part of you that wants to be like, oh no, opening the eyes, right?
Yeah.
Not wanting to listen, like letting that piece come and you being aware of it and know that that's part of your ego coming to challenge and coming to stop you from listening. And you hear it and you're like, okay, I know it's there. A little devil on my shoulder. I see you. I hear you. And I'm still going to listen to the other part of myself. Because that is an incredible message.
Yeah.
And what was the biggest lesson, the biggest message that you feel you got from that experience?
Just to forgive. My parents did the best they can with the little knowledge that they know in this new country. And not being so harsh on myself with them.
Yes.
Because these past 2 years that I had a breakup, being in my parents' home, it was just like very rough. Very rough situation where I wanted to leave, where I wanted my own place, where I wanted to escape. After that moment, I came to realization that, okay, my parents are all I got. I need help. I need anything. They're going to be there. So my relationship has become a lot better. I'm able to stay home.
Yeah.
I'm able to, be more tuned in with my parents. So that changed my perspective with my parents, my communication with my parents, the act, the behaviors. Because I would say I was very rude to my mom. Like, okay, like she would comment. I'm like, what do you want? Like, I'm here. Just very, not being rude, but just like not letting them know certain like little small things like, hey, I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'll be back.
Yes.
Just simple things. They care. They love you. They just want to know. Like, they just want to know where you're at. And before it was just like, oh my God, like, why are you trying to control me? Like, why are you trying to see what I'm doing? Like, it's like, but now it's just like, oh no, like, I call now. Like, oh, I'm here, like, tune in.
See what I'm doing.
Like, that's what I'm doing. And that's been really nice.
It sounds like that's transformed.
It has transformed. It has been really nice. Our conversations have changed a lot. And they have seen me, just kind of like let go of that, like you say, ego. Because it was just like my ego be like, no, like, I'm a bad bitch. Like, I can do it all. I can do it by myself. Like,
yes.
And it's just like, no, like, humble yourself,
yes,
girl.
Yeah. And
you got your parents.
Yes.
You don't got to struggle on your own.
True. And we all need support.
Yeah, we all need support.
We all need support, guidance, love. And I love that you gained the understanding and empathy for your parents.
For my parents, yes.
And that you're able to see the diversity in the way they grew up and where they came from and the lessons that they had in their life, what they gained and what they brought to you, and not hold anger and contempt against them because of that. I think for a lot of people, a lot of kids, anybody, you have parents.
Yes.
The parent, it's always
the bad guy.
The bad guy.
Yes.
And it's because of you. You're controlling me. And you know what's so funny is we say control, but it's like we were just talking about control and how we want to control.
Yeah.
So they're just a mirror of us. There's this quote, and I don't know if I'm going to get it right. It's definitely not my quote, but it says something like, we don't see people as they are. We see people as we are.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, like, you seeing that in your parents, your perception is on that because that's your perception. Like, you're in this space where you were like trying to control your life and trying to do things in a certain way and being that bad bitch and like, you know, owning that and living in that energy. When you get this phone call that smacks you in the face, you get these owls that show up that are like, listen, we're trying to talk to you. You have these visions and these feelings in your body that are popping up that are calling you and reminding you like that you do have some control. And at the same time, like you don't. And to just go with the flow and go with that energy and trust. I think that's what it is. Like the opposite of control would be trust, would you say?
Yeah. Trust and faith.
Trust and faith. Yeah.
Trust and faith. Absolutely.
And like letting go and trusting that it's going to work out. Just knowing. Yeah. I think too, like knowing for me is a big one. Just having a knowing, like, you know, the sun's going to come up tomorrow. Yeah. Like we know it. We don't even question it. Yeah. Nobody's thinking like, oh my God, is the sun not going to come up? What are we going to do? Like we know. Yeah. So how can we have that same knowing with ourselves and with the universe and with the things that are happening? Yeah. Wow. I love that.
That's harsh.
You say that's harsh.
Yeah.
Harsh why? Tell me. Let's end on this. Harsh why?
To me it's harsh because it's like, damn, like what more do I ask for? Like I have everything.
Mm-hmm. And it's like the harsh reality that you're maybe living in like this other perception.
And in a different perception. Where I'm like, I can't have feelings. I can't have, emotions. Mm-hmm. I can't show emotions. Because then they're going to take advantage of me.
That's harsh. That's harsh for the self.
Yeah. So that's right now. I'm just like, oh my God, like I've been so hard on myself.
Yes.
All my life. Where it's like, I can't do this. I can't do that.
Yeah. I would say ask yourself why. I've started doing that for probably maybe like a year or two when those things come up for me. And it's like, oh, you can't do this because of this. I'm like, why?
Why?
And I ask it, I'm like, why? And then it'll come up with some other reason. And then I state it again. I'm like, why? And you get to a point where you keep asking why, and then it doesn't have any more answers. And it's just silent. Because there's nothing else to say. Like it's trying to convince you. Mm-hmm. So I would say try that. I invite you to do that. Ask why. Yeah.
Or if I'm confused, ask why too.
Yes.
Clarity. Ask for clarity. Mm-hmm. Because before my previous encounter with the owl, I already knew I had to, release myself from this relationship. So I was at the beach that Tuesday where I was like, please release all these strings that I have, all this energy attached to this person because it's not serving me. But I still want it because I'm comfortable. Mm-hmm. I like the comfortableness. I like the little vibe, the little communication that we had, but it's not serving me in no good. Like it's not pushing me for my full potential, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
So it's just staying there, being comfortable.
The comfortable, yes. Yeah. Wow. Well, it sounds like our takeaways from this are the living in comfortability, control, releasing that and trusting, listening to yourself, and listening to the signs that are popping up.
No, yeah.
Which is powerful.
Very powerful.
So Edith, where can people find you? Where can people find information for your family's business? Your family has a business, right? Like what is the location for that or information for that?
So we are offering catering only right now. We do have to the public, but we're in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. We're all over Los Angeles for like street vendors. Mm-hmm. But we do offer catering. We have this authentic Mexican ice cream. Very delicious.
Catering. What type of food do you guys cater?
Well, we do taco. Well, we do a lot of things, but our majority of the stuff we do now is just ice cream. Just trying to push our ice cream business since we do have all different stuff. But our main one is the ice cream.
Got it.
So we do caterings like for parties,
Nice.
business
Yeah.
events, gatherings. Yes, so we're pushing our business. And
Mhm.
and behind our business, our main purpose is helping our elderly people that can't get a job,
Mhm.
or rehab people that are coming out of the drugs, trying to go back into society and get a job. Obviously, it's really hard for them.
Mhm.
Being in a wall, being, just in an hourly, like a regular job, like,
Yes.
behind a counter, dealing with people. Well, they still deal with people, but it's just like they're on their own. It's like
Mhm.
we give them all the tools, provide them all the equipment, so they can go out and do their own like business.
Mhm. Wow, that's incredible.
So, that's our main goal. We have a 72-year-old man that's with us, that's been with us for about like 7 years.
Wow.
And he has gone through some drastic stuff that he's still working with us, even though,
Oh my
stuff
gosh.
that has happened. And we have our people that come in and out of the drugs, when they're on the drugs.
Mhm.
My brother has encountered, you know, with them where they come back and look for him, asking for a little help,
Mhm.
and then, still finding that light within the business, like, okay, like I'm not good right now, but give me $20 so
Oh
I can
man.
clean up and come back and work.
Oh man.
Like,
That's
so
hard.
we have those people that come and go
Mhm.
with the drug addiction,
Yeah, of course.
but our doors are always open for them.
So you guys, through this business that your parents have with the catering,
Yes.
you guys support them.
Support them.
Like, do you guys give them jobs?
Yeah, providing them
Got it.
jobs, guidance, or
Mhm.
any help that they need, and we're able to help, like finding a location to live, providing them with food, clothing, money. Like we're trying to help. We're there for
Wow.
the community.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And where can they find you guys? Social
Yes,
media? What's
our
the name of the
social
catering
media
website?
our social media is going to be Nieves Cali _ Los Angeles,
Mhm.
because we do have a location in the Valley as well.
Got it. Do you guys have a website, or is it just
Right now, just Instagram.
Instagram?
But
Okay.
we're working on the website and
Got it.
getting our business out there. But
All
yeah,
right.
it's under Nieves Cali _ Los Angeles.
Beautiful. Thank you, Edith, for being here today.
No, thank you. Thank you for
We'll do this
allowing me
again.
to, speak
Of course.
and let you know a little bit of my, what is it? My guidance,
Mhm.
I would say.
Yeah, your journey, your
My
spiritual
journey,
journey.
my journey,
Yes,
which I'm excited because I feel like I have a lot more to give.
you do.
I just have to listen and love myself a little bit more.
Definitely. All right. Thanks for being here, Edith.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love it.
Thank you for tuning in to the feminine voice of God. May the divine feminine within you continue to guide and inspire your spiritual journey. Stay connected, share your insights, and embody the wisdom shared on our podcast. Until next time, may the sacred essence of the feminine illuminate your path.